Sparky family, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about spring and Easter DIYs using mainly Dollar Tree products. So let's jump right into it. The next time you're at Dollar Tree, grab some of their large, round, shiny plastic containers. I bought one where the top flares out a little bit. This is going to go on the bottom, and then the other ones I bought, the top just kind of goes straight up. I had my husband glue the planters together using a mixture of E6000 and hot glue. Any two planters that are the same color, I had him glue the top portion of the planters to each other. I'm using a mixture of E6000 and super glue because you need a heavy duty glue so this doesn't fall apart easily on you, but heavy duty glues like E6000, super glue, and Gorilla Glue take longer to dry. So the hot glue gets the trick done of sticking the planters together right away. These planters are supposed to be jumbo eggs. I made 3 jumbo eggs for this project, but you can make as little or as many as you like. Now it's time to decorate our eggs. Dollar Tree has so many different things that you can use. I got some felt stickers that I ended up using on only the yellow egg, and then you can get the vinyl paper from Dollar Tree. If you don't have a Cricut, you can use your scissors to just cut out a design, then peel the plastic backing off and stick directly to your eggs. However, if you have a Cricut like I do, I recommend just using your Cricut because you have it. Why not use it? So I had my Cricut cut out flowers for me and then some circles, but you can do the same thing by hand. It just doesn't look as perfect as using a Cricut. I also got these trim pack, which basically is ribbon inside of there, and I used the ribbon to cover up the area where 2 planters meet. It just makes it look more nice and look more cohesive. So this is how it turned out. It's like an egg topiary. I love the way that this looks, and it was so inexpensive to make. There's different ways you can cut cost here. You can use ribbon alone and just tie it around wherever 2 of the planters meet. If you want a more rounded out top, Walmart carries these little eggs for 98 cents. You can place them on the top of your eggs. However, the way I have it displayed in my own home is by using these flocked bunnies that I got at Walmart. I'll link them down below for you guys. They're so nice. They're $9.98 each. And you can also use these outside. If you do, however, the very bottom egg, you want to place some stones or just something in there that's weighted so this doesn't fall over easily if it gets windy near where you live. Now moving on to our next project. For our next project, you're going to need a laundry basket from Dollar Tree, as well as a pool noodle and then some zip ties. You can use hot glue if you like, but zip ties just make this so much easier. What you're going to do is you're going to bend your pool noodle and place it inside of the laundry basket. You're going to use your zip ties to attach the pool noodle to the laundry basket, making a big Easter basket. Now I got some ribbon from Dollar Tree and I'm going to weave it through the laundry basket so I could just make this look nicer than it just looking like a laundry basket. I then wrapped some ribbon around the pool noodle, gluing it in some areas just to make it look more decorative than just the pool noodle. And then I glued a bow I made using the Dollar Tree ribbon to the front of my laundry basket. Now I dummy up the inside using some towels I had on hand. I got these fabric carrots from Dollar Tree. I think they're so nice and I used them to decorate my Easter basket a bit. I had to tie the 2 at the top because I didn't want to glue them down just so that I could reuse those carrots. Inside of my basket, I put this Peep pillow. I get asked about it all the time. They bring it out at Walmart during Easter time. I'll try to link it down below for you guys, or if I can find it somewhere else, I'll link it down below. And then I glued a little wooden piece that says Easter from Dollar Tree to the front of my Peep. This is so easy to make. I love the way that this looks, and you can always customize this to suit your style. If you're enjoying this video so far, please leave a bunny emoji in the comments. It really helps my channel out. For our next project, you're going to need 2 punch bowls from Dollar Tree. Now I do want to credit CHICONTHECHEAP for this DIY. Years ago, she did a bunny topiary DIY video that I've seen recreated so many times since she's done it. So I want to make sure I credit her because I know people work very hard on their projects, and when I'm reposting to social media, I want to make sure that I credit the original person just to shout them out for their hard work. I glue the punch bowls together, then I got some fluted bowls from Dollar Tree. I glue one to the punch bowls and then I glue the other one on top of the other fluted bowl. I'll be linking CHICONTHECHEAP's video down below for you guys. She used moss. I'm using something different. I'm going to be using yarn. Moss is a pain in the butt to work with for me, so instead I got a thick chunky yarn at Hobby Lobby, 30% off. It cost me $5.59. You can buy yarn at Dollar Tree, however you're going to have to buy a bunch of yarn because it's so thin at Dollar Tree. You're going to end up spending more money. Just go to Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. You're going to get more bang for your buck. I just used my hot glue gun to glue the yarn around the bowls. For the bunny ears, I'm using this bunny ear headband I got at Dollar Tree. I wrapped the yarn around the ears. However, looking back, I wish I would have went with ears that had a thicker wire underneath because this gets a little bit too floppy. Once I was done wrapping the yarn around the headband, I cut off the ends of the headband, so I just have the bottom portion, and I glue that directly to the bowl. I got a planter from Dollar Tree, and I just placed the bunny inside of the bowl. You can always weigh down the planter with stones or something else if you want to. I then finish off my bunny topiary with a bow that I made using Dollar Tree ribbon, and that's how this bunny turned out. I love the way that this looks. I did try doing another one, but I used these furry white scarves from Dollar Tree, and I don't know if I like it or if I don't. Basically, I was cutting the scarves down and gluing it to the bowl. I used a headband as well on this one. You could get the duster mop pads from Dollar Tree. I feel like those will look nice. However, you have to buy quite a few of them to wrap them around this, so I don't think it makes sense. Versus a scarf, I only needed 4 of the scarves for this. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this one. However, I wanted to share it with you guys because maybe you guys will like it or you have a better idea. Moving along to our next project, you're going to need the wooden crates from Dollar Tree. Go ahead and paint them whatever color you like. Now I'm going to be having 2 rows, and to elevate the second row, I'm actually just going to use 1 crate. I'm just using 1 crate where the 2 meet to cut down on cost. I got this wooden chalkboard tag from Dollar Tree that I'm going to glue to the front of this, and then I wrote Peep Farm on it. Now this portion of the DIY I actually did last year, but we're going to elevate this a little bit more. So I ended up gluing 2 crates side by side and painting them a little bit of a darker pink color, and I did this 2 times. So I'm going to take 1 row of 2 crates, and I'm going to use wood glue to glue that on top of the crate box that I originally made. And then once I have that glued down, I then take my second row and I glue that directly on the first row. So now I have these crates that are lying flat the way they're supposed to be, and then on their side. I'm going to be filling up my crates with some Easter treats that I got all at Dollar Tree except for the big bunnies I'm placing inside of this. Now, if you paint the inside of your crates and they're not sealed so that they're food safe, you don't really want to put the treats directly into the crate, and you want to keep them in the original packaging or wrap them in some type of plastic or a Ziploc bag. For video purposes, I take the treats out because I don't like the glare from the packaging, and I want to give you guys an idea of how this looks. However, like I said, especially if you're giving this to somebody, don't take the treats directly out of the packaging. I found this hippity hoppity Easter sign at Dollar Tree. I removed the carrot from it, and then I glued that to the top of my crates. I got a DIY wood Easter chick from Dollar Tree as well. I ended up painting it off camera, and I'm gluing that to the top of my little piece, and that's how I made this little treat center. I think it's so cute. It's a great gift idea versus just doing a Easter basket. And like I said, you do want to keep the food sealed versus the way I have it, unless you don't plan on eating the food. I recently bought these fake cakes at Home Goods, and I thought to myself, I have to recreate these. They're hard to find, and I know you guys would love to make some for yourself. Now you can get some Model Magic from Dollar Tree. It's 1 ounce, or you can go somewhere else and get the air dry clay from Crayola and get more bang for your buck versus buying the little Model Magic pieces from Dollar Tree. Now what you're going to do is you are just going to mold eggs out of your clay or Model Magic. It's easy to do. Just roll it around and then just shape the top. I didn't use any fancy tools to do this. I made large eggs and then small eggs. Then I took some more Model Magic, I rolled it out, so I just flattened it out. You can use your palm to do this, but if you have a rolling pin, it just makes it easier. And then I used a little X-Acto knife to cut out a bow shape from this. And I did this 2 times. I did one more of a larger bow and then a small bow. Finally, the last thing I molded was a cupcake liner. I just got the shape down, and then I used a little something to make lines through it to make it look more like a cupcake liner. You need to wait for your Model Magic or clay to harden before you can move on to the next step, which is painting them. So I let this sit overnight, and then I went and I painted it more pastel colors. So I went with like pink, a mint color, yellow, a light blue color, but you can do whatever you want. Now get some cylinder gift boxes from Dollar Tree. Get at least 2 in 2 different sizes. You're also going to need some craft foam. I got my craft foam at Hobby Lobby for 99 cents. If you get the glitter kind, it's $1.49. You're better off going to a craft store to buy your craft foam versus Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree does carry craft foam, but it comes in a very small size and you never get the colors that you want. What you're going to do is you're going to take your boxes and you are going to trace the circumference of the box onto the craft foam as well as the bottom of the box, and then you're going to cut those pieces out. You're going to do this for every single box that you got. After you've cut out your craft foam, you're going to glue it to the boxes. Now the craft foam that I had, I wanted it to be a little bit lighter and I couldn't find anything lighter at Hobby Lobby. So what I ended up doing is I just ended up painting over the craft foam to get the color that I wanted for both the blue and the pink craft foam. You're going to have to glue your widest gift box directly to a plate. So I got a plastic plate from Dollar Tree and I'm gluing my widest gift box to that plastic plate. Now you're going to need some lightweight spackle. Dollar Tree does carry lightweight spackle, but I'm using this one that I got from the hardware store because I do so many fake treats on this channel. I get more bang for my buck going to the hardware store and I don't have to mix any water inside of this to get the perfect consistency. You're also going to need some icing tips. I got these ones for $1.49 at Hobby Lobby. You can get the more plastic kind from Dollar Tree, however you can't reuse them. So if you're into making fake sweets, honestly it's better to go elsewhere for some of these supplies. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your spackle inside of a piping bag with the icing tip of your choice. You're going to treat your spackle as if it were actual like icing or frosting. You are just decorating it as if it were a real cake. So I was just using different types of tips, a thicker one and then like a thinner one. On top of my smaller gift box, I glued down that little cupcake liner that I made. Then I put some spackle on top of the cupcake liner to look like frosting. And then inside of that, I placed the little eggs that I made, but I did have to use some hot glue to attach all four of them together. I glued the little bow that I made to the front of the cupcake liner, and then I went in with some more spackle. I was using the spackle to cover up where two pieces of craft foam met, just so I could get a more seamless look. And I ended up making a design that's a little bit different from the Home Goods one. I just did more spackle designs on this because I knew it wasn't going to look exactly like the Home Goods one, so I just wanted to do my own thing. The bigger bow I made, I glued to the wider box, and then I just again did some spackle designs that were similar to the Home Goods one. Once I had most of my spackle design down, I then added the eggs, and I did use a little bit of hot glue to attach the eggs where they hit the craft foam directly to make sure that they didn't go anywhere. Once they harden inside of the spackle, they don't really move, but while you're waiting for it to dry, it's best to just use a little bit of hot glue so it doesn't move anywhere. Again, I just tried to kind of mimic what the Home Goods cake is, but also did my own little thing. After I glued down the eggs, I did some more little spackle designs, but that's how I made this cake using the Dollar Tree gift boxes. And if you're into making fake sweets, I do recommend going for most of your products elsewhere. The gift boxes I love to use from Dollar Tree, they're cheapest there, and there's other things you can use to get the main form down. However, like craft foam, spackle, clay, it's all cheaper to get it elsewhere and in bulk, especially if you like to make fake sweets like me. I ended up making 2 of these. The second one I'm going to have on my TikTok, so make sure you check it out, bargain.bethany. And on there, this one was just done slightly different. It's no paint involved. We're going to make some Easter candles. Pick up some pillar candles from Dollar Tree, whatever colors you like. The first candle I'm melting is a white candle, and I do this inside of the oven. I preheat my oven to 300 degrees, and I melt the wax for about 25 minutes. Once it's melted, I poured my white wax inside of a pitcher. This is a candle wax pitcher that I got at Hobby Lobby for $4.99. Then I got this ice cube tray from Dollar Tree, and I am going to pour the wax inside of the ice cube tray. You can pour it directly out of the little glass that the wax comes in from Dollar Tree. However, you don't get real good control that way, so I prefer to just have a pitcher on hand. You're going to wait for your wax to harden. Once it has hardened, all you have to do is flip the ice cube tray over and push the wax out, and it comes out so easily. So I have these little pieces that I'm going to use for the other candles that I'm making. At Dollar Tree, pick up some glasses, glass dishes that you can use for your candles. Make sure they say nothing about not taking heat to it, because some of the glasses will say that they aren't heat resistant. I'm using this glass pie dish and then this glass mug I got from Dollar Tree. I glued new wicks to the bottom of them. I used 2 in the pie one and then 1 in the mug one. Now I'm going to start with the pie one. I poured some orange candle wax inside of my pitcher, and I am then going to pour that inside of my little pie bowl, and then I have to wait for this to completely harden. If you've seen me make candles on this channel, you know this technique. However, if you're new, you can make whipped wax that looks like fake whipped cream. So what you do is you're going to take your wax and pour it inside of a heat resistant mixing bowl, one that you don't use for actual food. You're going to wait for your wax to start developing a film on the top, so it's starting to harden. In the meantime, get your piping bag and icing tip ready, because once you put the wax inside of there, it's gonna move fast and it starts hardening quickly. So you can see here I have that little film on top, so now I can start mixing. If you're mixing and it's not getting thicker, just wait for the wax to cool down a little bit more and then continue mixing, because you're looking for it to look like thick mashed potatoes. Now scoop your wax inside of the piping bag and start piping out the wax, and once you start squeezing, do not stop, because if you stop, the wax hardens pretty much immediately inside of the icing tip, and then you have to start over. You have to get a new icing tip. So once you start squeezing, just keep going. So I did a little whipped cream type of look around my little pie. Then I got these wax melts from Dollar Tree. I'm using a potato peeler to just grate it down, and then I'm going to sprinkle that on top of the wax. Again, I'm using one that I don't actually use for food. I topped my pie off with one of the little bunny wax pieces that I made, and then for the other candle I made, I poured in some orange wax. You want to wait for the first layer of wax to completely dry. However, I didn't wait for mine to completely dry because the sun started to go away, so I had to hurry up and finish the video. So instead, I started to pour in the green wax, and the green wax and orange wax kind of mixed in with each other. I used just one green pillar candle. With the leftover green wax that I had, I did mix it together to get a whipped look, and then I used my piping bag and icing tip to create that little whipped cream look on top of my mug. You can see here what I meant by the green and the orange wax. They mixed in with each other. I ended up covering it up with the green wax anyway. Then inside of this, I placed some of those wax bunnies that I made, so they kind of look like marshmallows inside of this one. You're going to trim your wick between 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch. You don't want it to be too long. It can catch, you know, on fire, or it can make an uneven melt, so you want to keep it around that type of length. Make sure you're always nearby when you light your candles. I would do more research when candle making. I'm not an expert and I haven't shared everything with you guys, so I definitely would do more research, and if anything, you can always use these as just a decorative piece and not anything that you light up. For this project, you're going to need foam board. I got this yellow foam board from Hobby Lobby just because I didn't want to have to paint all of my foam board. However, Dollar Tree carries foam board and they carry yellow poster board that you can use. I printed out a Peep template, and I'm going to be tracing this on top of the foam board. I'll link the template down below for you guys, the one I got just right off of Google. And what I'm doing is I'm just tracing this image directly on top of the foam board. You do not need to open up a pen to do this. You just need to use something that's going to smush the paper into the foam board, and you'll see the outline once you remove the paper. And then after you've done that, you can go ahead and use a box cutter, a razor, X-Acto knife, whatever you have on hand to cut through the foam board. I don't recommend using scissors though, because if you use scissors, it starts to smush the foam board. So I'm cutting out these Peep pieces that I'm going to use in this project. Now I'm going to have to cut pieces out of the foam board for the front, back, sides, top and bottom of my box. So for the front and the back, I didn't mess with the width of the foam board. I kept the 20 inches the same, but the height I trimmed down to 9 inches, and that's for the front and the back. The side pieces are 3 inches in width and 9 inches in height. Then the top pieces are 3 inches in height and then 20 inches in width. Now I'm going to use my box cutter to cut out a rectangle shape on the front of my box so that there's a hole there so you can see the Peep bunnies that are inside. And I only have 2 Peep bunnies that are showing, even though I glued 4 Peep bunnies inside of this. Before I glue the bunnies down, I did cut a bunch of small little pieces of foam board that I glued on top of each other so that I could create some distance between the bunnies and the back of the foam board. I didn't want to glue the bunnies directly to the back, otherwise they would be too far from the front of the box. So after I've done that, I start to glue the box together. So, you know, I just glue the front, the sides. Now, I didn't really think about this though. The sides of the foam board is white, so I did have to end up painting that with some yellow paint. However, I just didn't have to paint all of the foam board, which that was the win to me and why I decided to use yellow foam board from the get-go. Now I printed out the Peeps logo. I'll link it down below for you guys. And I was going to cut this piece out and glue it to the front of my box. However, it was a little too small, so I ended up eventually getting a bigger one. Now I took a Sharpie and I just drew on the eyes and nose of the Peeps. They're just circles. The final thing I decided to do, and you don't have to do this, it's not necessary, I decided to take some Mod Podge, put a layer of that on top of the bunnies, and then sprinkle on some fake sugar. The sugar I'll link down below for you guys. It's called fake sugar sprinkles, so it's not real sugar. You're not going to get mice inside of your house because of it. I just put it on top to get that more sugary peep look. That's how I made these Peeps. They are so cute. I really wanted to include this in this video, so that's why the lighting's getting a little bit dark. It was so last minute, and so I don't know, I just love the way that this turned out, and you guys know me, I love fake sweets. For our next project, I used that Model Magic from Dollar Tree to make a bunch of little circles. I used a small cookie cutter to make those circles so perfect. I waited for them to harden and then I'm going to paint them. I just used pastel paint to paint them. If you're using the Model Magic from Dollar Tree, get about 4 packs of the Model Magic for this project. Now I took some spackle and I'm going to go ahead and pipe it onto one of the circles. Basically, I'm making macaroons, so you're going to need 2 circles for every macaroon that you make. Now I'm going to be using another one of those cylinder boxes from Dollar Tree. I made sure I got one with a really pretty nice top, so this one has like a glitter look to it that I like a lot. I'm going to be placing my macaroons on top of the box, and I did it so that it's kind of like a tree. So I started off with a wider base and then it gets thinner the higher it gets. So I started off with 5 macaroons at the bottom, then I did 4 on top of that, 3 on top of the 4, and then 2 on top of the 3. And I'm just using my hot glue gun to glue them into place, but I do recommend using E6000. I just can't use it right now on my own. I make my husband do it because I don't want to really be breathing it in because I'm pregnant. Anyways, now I'm going to take this bunny that I got from Dollar Tree. It's like a ceramic DIY bunny. I removed the top of it, and then I'm going to glue that on top of the 2 macaroons that are at the very top. That's all I did. Literally, that's it. It's this cute little trinket box. You can use it for jewelry. You can make a fake cake out of it and just have this top for it. This is actually inspired off of this macaroon tree. I saw that Home Goods carries, but I couldn't find it inside of the store. It's like macaroons with little bunnies popping out. I absolutely love this. On to our next DIY, which is not anything based off of sweets. So from Dollar Tree, you want to pick up a piece of poster board and you are going to roll it to get a cone shape. I went with green because I felt like if any of it would show through when I'm gluing on top of this, it would blend in nicely with everything else. Once I have it rolled, I use some tape to close it off. After I've done that, I go ahead and cut off the bottom, any excess poster board that I don't want. Now I got a planter from Dollar Tree and I am going to glue down my poster board to the very bottom of that planter. And you want to add a lot of glue. Don't be stingy with it. You don't want that poster board falling over on you. Once you have that glued, you can then start decorating this. Now I'm going to be gluing on some Spanish moss to the poster board. I did leave gaps so that I could glue eggs. So the eggs I got from Dollar Tree, I'm using 3 packs on this and I'm not using any of the white eggs. So I glue them to the poster board directly instead of the moss, because if I glue them to the moss, the egg might pull the moss off of the poster board. This is the next day, if you're wondering why lighting looks a little bit better and I'm wearing a different sweater. After I had the eggs on, I start to glue on more of the Spanish moss. So I had to use 2 packs of moss total. And I put a good amount at the bottom of my topiary so that it looked wider at the bottom. I picked up these floral pieces at Dollar Tree. They're called glitter berries. Well, I went ahead and I cut the leaves first. And I used these to fill in any gaps where you could still see the poster board. And I just wanted to add a little bit more color to this. After I had the leaves down, I then glue on the berries. As you see, I did a mixture of the pink and yellow berries, and I only needed 1 bundle of each one for my tree. And so basically I have these egg topiaries that I got from
Big Lots a few years ago, and they're $16, and they come back every single year. And you can see them once my topiary is done. They are on the smaller side, so my topiary is bigger and it costs me less than $16 to make. Big Lots brings these topiaries in every single year, and I wonder how much they're going to be this year because the price of everything is just going up. Now we'll be making a carrot wreath. We'll be using these carrots from Dollar Tree. Last year they carried them in a 4-pack. This year they're carrying them in a 6-pack. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use these to create a wreath. So I take my hot glue and I start attaching the carrots side by side by side. I angle them as I attach them to get that wreath circular shape. I used 6 packs of the carrots to create my wreath. You can make it as small as you want and as large as you want. So the bigger, the more packs you're gonna need. After I attached all my carrots together, I decided to use these little wreath circles that I got from Dollar Tree. I decided to attach them to the back because on its own, the carrots, they kind of bent around a little too much. You can also use foam board to do this from Dollar Tree. The circle foam wreaths they have as well. There's different options. Next up, I took this decor piece from Dollar Tree and I'm going to cut the carrots off of it. I am not getting rid of that rabbit head. I'm saving that for another DIY. I decided to glue the Happy Easter carrots onto the center of my wreath. I just used hot glue to do this. I also decided to glue on 2 of these little felt bunnies from Dollar Tree. I love how this wreath turned out, and since a lot of the decor in my home involves a lot of greenery, this blends in so nicely with the home decor that I already have on hand.
That's it for these Easter DIYs. I truly hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.